is I can save it and then upload it somewhere, and then I can send you a link so you can go back and review this, this session. Any materials that I present today, songs, music, whatever, I'm going to also email it to you on a follow-up. So you'll have everything back. You'll have all the materials to go back and review. So let me go back to my screen share, and you're going to see you should see on your screen now a virtual class experience. And I'm just going to go through it real quickly. A couple of other things. We do suggest that you wear headphones, and the reason is you should be able to hear the music okay on your device, whether it's an iPad, phone, or computer. However, what we have noticed, if people have headphones or earphones, when it's time that the music is played, the experience is just a little better. Okay, it's actually a lot better. So, as an example, I'm going to play just a little bit of the song in this opening here, and you'll hear it. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I just wanted you to get a taste of kind of that's the music that's built into that. So at some point, you're going to hear some music like that. Now, for starters, what I'm going to encourage you to do, and again, you're going to get a copy of all this material, is over time, we're going to be doing multifaceted things. It may be giving you a song and some arrangement setups for your instrument. Keep in mind that no matter what instrument you have, you're going to have some take-home value. These classes are designed to give you setups and ideas and features that all of you have. Now, there's going to be some exceptions from time to time, but overall, most of the students are able to utilize everything we're teaching. So these are just a handful of features that I think you should go to your instrument at some point and look for. And most of you already know some of this stuff, but we'll dive into some of these things as time goes on, from rhythm styles to song setups to using glides and virtuosos and fake-its, using your information screen, whether it's a touch screen or not, or if it's even on the smaller models. But today, I'm going to talk about exploring your music styles. Now, exploring your music styles is, this is an underestimated thing, because a lot of times we have a style we use to play music, and there's much more you can do with it than you can think. And some of you may do this, some of you may not. So what I'm going to do is, here's a little picture just as an example. Now keep in mind, there are many, many different models. I chose to put on the screen, you're going to see another slide here in a minute, of instruments that most of you have similarities with. So for example, we have some people that have the new Esty, Discovery 3 by Esty and the Freedom 3 by Esty. You can see the panel there where it's got music styles, standards, mellow, and on to the right you'll see an Easy Series panel. If someone has an Easy 4, Easy 2, 1, 3, 10, you see that panel is very similar to all of that. There might be a couple less buttons than some of the smallers. I'm going to refer to all of these throughout the process. Let's talk about music styles on the larger models. Now, we have, some people have a Prestige, Imperial, Legend, models like that. There is SU series like Stardust, Royales, let's see, Royales, Rhapsodies, Sensei. If you look at that panel there, that's where your rhythm styles are. There's the new Inspire, the newer Inspire, Rialto. Even the Journey has a very, in Fanfare, have a similar panel. And then the Symphony, I chose that one because organs like the Liberty, Patriot, Sterling, and the limited edition Symphony have that panel. That's where your rhythm styles are. Let's have a little fun, though, and showcase some music. So when I did the class 2 weeks ago, I didn't have an organ to do this on, so at the time, so what I did is I recorded this song, Gentle on My Mind, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it, and just listen. Gentle on My Mind, a wonderful hit, Glenn Campbell hit. I'm going to put the music up on the screen, and I'm going to do two things here. First of all, there's the song. You can see it's a very simple song. Again, you're going to get a copy of the song in a follow-up email, so stay tuned in. You should have it, I'm going to say, by tomorrow, Saturday at the very latest. And you can see the music there. And what I did is that instrument there is our Freedom 3, and then I'm going to play a little bit of that, and then I'm going to give you guys all some setups that will pertain to all of your models, and then I'll switch it back and play it, one of them live here. So. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next slide here. And I want you to look at the screen. And so this song is very unique. And then I'll put the video back on me with an instrument. I'll play a song over here. This song is kind of interesting because if you listen to it, it's got a really nice acoustic guitar background. The style that I used in the first recording was a style called Mr. Gentle Mind. So for those of you, I noticed in the emails that I sent out to the folks, there was a lot of people that have some of the elite models like Inspires, Liberties, Rialtos. Look for a style called Mr. Gentle Mind. If you have some of the more basic or intermediate models, there's styles there. It says, you know, pop guitar standard, easy 10. I'm going to talk about this in just a moment. Mellow, easy 8-beat, which is on the easy series of the SD, or country acoustic guitar SD. Now, before I go to the screen here, what's great about these styles is that this happens to me all the time. I'll play a song, and while I'm playing it, I'll start thinking to myself, oh, that'll sound great with this song or that song or that song. And I'll actually sometimes switch to that song midway and use it. So the other songs that work well with those styles are Folsom Prison Blues, and then on the slower sense, Dust in the Wind. Now, let me turn off the screen share for a second, and this is where we have a little fun. So here is, for example, actually, let's start over here. So on this style here, the first recording you heard was a style called Mr. Gentle Mind, which sounds sort of like this. And you heard me play it through a few notes, but you notice the speed of that, okay? On the screen, you heard me use a style that said, I said use, let me pull it up here. It says guitar, pop, guitar standard. Now when you hear this style, pull the bench over here. Can you still see it okay? All right. When you hear this style, you're going to probably ask yourself, how can I use this style for the song that I just featured? Notice the speed. So if you noticed, that's not very fast. Here's a little trick for you. I take a style like that has these beautiful guitars, and then what you do is you speed it up to about 200 or faster. And most of the time, someone would say you're nuts. But watch what happens. You get a very similar guitar picking effect that you heard with the other style. So did you notice that there? Now, Shaun, I think this is a good time to pause, do some hand raising, and have any questions. If anybody has a question about anything I've done so far.
I guess not.
I'm going to put I just switched it to you have the ability to unmute yourself. Questions? Comments? Does the sound okay on your end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything sounds great, and you got a smart group with you today.
Apparently. Oh, wait. Diane, you just raised your hand.
Okay, Diane, I'm unmuting you. You can speak.
When the music I have headphones on, and when the music started, it was really loud compared to your voice.
Okay, which one was it? The one that I played on?
The first gentle.
PowerPoint. Yeah.
Yeah, on the PowerPoint. Mm-hmm.
Oh, on the PowerPoint, yes. Unfortunately, the balances, so I'm going to have to try to control that.
Okay.
All right, so bear with me. On the future sessions, I don't play the music through the PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
I do it like this. We have all of the test equipment, but that's okay. But I want to go back to the song here real quick. But did you notice how I did that? That was really fascinating. I took a slow style, and basically, I sped it up. Now, what I'll do for the next one here, let me see what comes up. Let me go back to my screen share, and hopefully it's one that I won't need the PowerPoint and blast your ears out. Let's go. Let's see. Oh, this one's fun. Cabaret. All right, so what I'll do is for the song Cabaret, you can see the music there. And very simple, easy to play music. I'm going to, and there it is, and I'm going to go to that style page, and I'll jump back to that in a second. But instead of using the music on the PowerPoint this time, I think I'll just do it this way so I don't blast you out. And I'll play a little bit of the song, and I'm going to give you a couple little fun little quick style setup choices here. So let's see here. Okay, hopefully that sound was a little bit better. So there's the song Cabaret, and what I'll do at the end, if we have a little time, I'll probably play one of the songs that I featured today all the way through. Actually, I like this, I really love this song, so at the very end I'll do that as a finishing touch for you and play it all the way through. So Cabaret, great music, great Broadway type, show tunes type style, and if you take a look at the screen here, you'll notice that I have a few setups here. I have, there is, for the elite models, I have, trying to turn down my volume here, okay. So for the elite models, there's a style that I use. It's obviously called Cabaret. And so there's a lot of you who might have that style on your instrument. But when the interesting thing about this style called Cabaret was it was a style that Lowry introduced that was great for show tunes, but also kind of, if you listen closely to it, it also kind of had it had a lot of sort of a big band type of feel to it. So really, for those who would like playing a song like this, there's really a nice variety of styles that you can use. For many years, before Cabaret was introduced, back in 2001, an instrument called the Lowry Royale was introduced, and the very first time the Vegas big band style was introduced. And for many years, I actually used that style as great. And I'll play a little bit of it in just a second. I'll actually highlight a few of these. On the new SD, we have a swing time style that's called, and then believe it or not, Frank and the Count, which has been around for a while on many instruments. The trick to that, Frank and the Count usually comes up at about 140. If you want to use that type of style, you want to increase the tempo that's comfortable. Ideally, if you want to play it at the speed you heard, it's going to be somewhere in the 180 range, and you'll get a little taste of that. Now, before I come back to the organs here, you'll see it says other song choices that work well with the styles that you see. Cabaret is an interesting song, and this has happened to me many times. I'll be playing a concert for a group, and I'm playing the song Cabaret. And halfway through the song, sometimes I'll do a little solo, and then maybe what I'll do is switch to Bill Bailey. But sometimes I do it by mistake. If you listen to the song Cabaret and Bill Bailey, you'll see a lot of similarities in the melody and in the chord progression. So there's been many a times I've been playing and I mistakenly started playing Bill Bailey. And people will come up afterwards and go, "Oh, that's great. I never thought of doing that medley." What, you know? And then I would have to confess to say, actually it was by mistake. I just kept doing it. So what's great about some of these styles is that it's an easy way to do some, to build in some medleys that work well with them. So All of Me obviously is a very commonly played song with Frank and the Count. Bill Bailey's great when I'm doing Cabaret. I like to, it's almost at the same speed. Lady is a Tramp is also great with these styles. And then sometimes I like to do a little bit of sing, sing, sing. So to demonstrate that, let's start over here. And then I'll come over to the smaller model, and we'll do a little bit of a short tidbit on both of those. So here's Cabaret. I almost started to play Bill Bailey. So as you can see, that's the beginning of that. And watch what happens when I do Bill Bailey. So they have a multifaceted way of using these styles. Now, if I come on over to our smaller model here, I mentioned, what was it, Frank and the Count, which you can use. Let's speed it up a little bit. Frank and the Count, it's at 140. You have to speed it up. And then finally, I mentioned Vegas Big Band, and so here's how that one sounds. Some of you have that style. So hopefully that sounded good. And then, now before I go on, does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to raise their hand? None whatsoever. Got one more song to feature here for today. All right. Now this one here, a lot of people fell in love with. And the song is called You Don't Know Me. And so what I'll do here is I'll play a little bit of that on the instrument here. And I think I'm going to need my music for this one. Good old Ray Charles. And when I very first initially featured this, I had so many overwhelming comments of saying how much they love this song. And so what I'm going to do is I'll play just a little bit of it so you kind of hear how it goes. And then I've got some great setup tips and some cool things you can do with this type of style that will come in handy. So here's the introduction. that beautiful? So You Don't Know Me is a great, great song, but if you listen closely to that style, there are many, many songs you can play with that style. Now let me just pull up the music here and take a quick peek. And what you'll notice is the music is very easy, actually, except when you have a picture of me playing in it. But again, you're going to get a copy of this. And on this instrument here, you saw that was the Easy 10. I'm going to skip the video just for a second and come back to it. But there's a third page. And if you listen closely to that style, that's what's called a triplets, a ballad triplets, commonly known as a ballad triplets or a 6/8 style. What it means is it counts in 6 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right? But human nature is when we hear those styles, we don't look at our tempo and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a tendency of counting as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and it could also be counted as 3/4. But what's great about that style is that you can play many songs with it, but it's commonly known as the 6/8 triplets, ballad triplets. So if you want to play that song and you have a style called You Don't Know Me, that'll work perfectly for it. But you also have other styles in your instrument, depending on the model you have, that has those types of styles. So for example, 50s love ballad is a very common style. So here is, I'm going to switch over to the Easy 10 for a moment and just listen. This is what's called a 50s love ballad. So there, virtually every model, at least for the next 10 years, and I would say virtually every model, there might be one out there, has a ballads, triplets type style or 50s love ballad. But there are other styles out there that also work nicely with it. Some of you have a style called Wonderful World, which commonly people play the song What a Wonderful World. But the thing about that is you don't have to play the songs that they're intended for. So you can take wonderful songs like this, some of the great songs, and rather than getting bored of playing the song, sometimes just changing the style gives it a whole different flavor. Other songs that work with these styles, Ramblin' Rose, Can't Help Falling in Love. And so, as an example, I'll come back over to the instrument here. And here is, I'll put on Wonderful World, which is on the Easy series. It's on this model. And typically, people would play, like I said, What a Wonderful World. Which works nicely, but if I want to take that same style and then let's put on a nice piano sound. That's what I was using there. Let's see. Works perfectly with that. Or as I'm playing, sometimes I'll think, oh, well, I'm playing in the key of F. You Don't Know Me is in the key of F on the most easy play. What a Wonderful World is also in the key of F in most easy play. So is this song. So there are just all sorts of types of styles and songs that can intermingle and lead to other songs. To me, the styles are the reason why most of us get involved in the hobby. But sometimes in talking to some students, typically some of the newer students, they're not explored as much as they are. Sometimes they need a little helping hand. But a lot of times songs could lead into other styles and then sort of reignite your enthusiasm for a song. There's been songs that I used to love playing back 20 years ago that I played it so much because I got tired of the style, and then Lowry would come out with a new style, and all of a sudden it's exciting again. So that is your little introduction workshop today, and a couple things I want to share with you before we adjourn here. First of all, thank you very much for attending. Thank you for all that you do. And before we do anything, before we do anything, I'm going to kind of open it up for any comments in just a moment. And then I'm going to, I got a couple announcements here. And where did I do my paper here? Well, it's somewhere around here, but I think I'll remember. Before we adjourn, a couple of very important announcements. I just started these virtual classes about 2 weeks ago, and it started with about 50 participants per class on Wednesday and Thursday, and it grew to about 75, and now I've opened up a third class, and the goal here is to continue doing these, especially during these very unique times. And the best thing that you can do to help support us is to spread the word to your fellow students about what we're doing. If you know a student that's nearby or what have you, you think they should know about this, just tell them to email me. You have my email because I send out the notices via my email. It's rroman@fletchermusic.com, but you also get it via the email. Secondly, spread the word if you have someone that maybe fortunately you all have an instrument to play on, but there's a lot of people out there that are on lockdown that don't have an instrument, and this is a great time for those types of people to have some music in their home. And we have, I didn't highlight it today or anything, but we have a new beginner's model called the Discovery 3 that is just absolutely phenomenal. It's very economical, very easy to use, the instructions with it. If you know anybody you think should have music in their life, tell them about it, and you can get them in touch with me, or if you'd like to send me the information, we'll have someone contact them and we can tell them how to get started with music. Lastly, we have a couple other platforms that we're doing so you have as much information in front of you. Many of you are familiar with YouTube. What I do is a lot of these classes I record and then I upload it to YouTube, and then you will be given a link and you can go back and review those videos. And the beauty of that is I'm doing a lot of talking. You might have been taking notes. Sometimes we don't catch everything. It's always great to go back. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because then you can be notified when those things are happening, or you can find our channel. You'll already start to see that I have a few of these on there and some other little musical things I'm doing. And then I just started last week. This is kind of fun. Last Friday, we did our very first Facebook Live concert. And it's real easy. You just got to have a Facebook account. It's free. You go on our Facebook page, click like, and you'll be notified. You can find tomorrow I have our second concert at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Mountain, or Arizona. I did our first concert last week as a test, and from what I heard and I was able to listen, overall went pretty nicely. There were, at one point, there were about 150 people on at the same time viewing it, and we're going to continue some type of music presentation every Friday. So, and this Friday, I have a special treat for you. My assistant manager of the Tucson store, his name is Jerome Johnson. In Arizona, many people know him. He's been out here for a while. In Florida, some know him. He's not only a gifted performer, but he's got an amazingly beautiful voice. He's just got one of those natural voices when he sings. So we're going to play a concert together, and then we're going to throw in a few songs where he's going to sing to you. So we encourage you, and if you go on our Facebook page, you'll see that it says that it's going to start on such and such date. You have the option of being notified when the concert starts. So hopefully you'll join us tomorrow. We'll be on, we'll be performing, and we hope you enjoy that. And those are my quick announcements for now. What I like to do is, before we go, I'm going to give you the ability to unmute yourself. If you have anything you'd like to add before you go, I've got another class starting in about 15 minutes. So I'm just going to kind of, a little free form, freestyle here. Anybody like to say anything? You're not allowed to say anything bad. That's the rule. You're all very quiet. And you don't even have to raise your hand. You could actually just unmute yourself and start talking.
Okay, is all the music that you're gonna send out, will it have the letters in the notes?
You're going to get exactly what you saw on the screen, yes.
Okay,
It's all going to be easy play. You'll see several attachments, and it'll say, click this link
okay,
for the music.
got it.
It'll say, click this link to watch the class.
Okay,
The PowerPoint that you saw today, I'm going to also upload it as a PDF. So you'll be able
Okay.
to scroll through that PDF and you'll have all the information.
okay,
So you'll have many different things coming your way, whatever way is going to work for you.
okay, thank you.
Believe it or not, I don't read standard notation.
Really?
That's a fact. I got to the point where I've learned to use Easy Play, and all the keys I play in are key of C or F, and I just use the instrument to make, and I'm so good at the key of C or F
Yeah.
that it makes it easy for me. So I just said to myself, there's no point in learning real music.
Okay,
I've got this music here, and then I use the instrument to help me sound good, and then I'll make arrangements and stuff like that.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Any comments?
Well, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Yeah, this is wonderful. I'm looking forward to the concert tomorrow and to our next class.
Yeah, I'm going to do it at the same time next week.
Okay.
You'll get an email reminder, and what'll happen over time is probably we'll have some others joining on this as I keep feeding it out there to the people. And what we're noticing is Shaun Maloney in the background there, he actually put something together for one of the classes that we've done this week. You're going to get that information as well pretty soon. It's going to evolve to other things. At some point, we're thinking of how we can put in workshops like for people with the big models versus the small ones. We have one that's for all. There's going to be all sorts of things that's just going to evolve over time. And what I'm noticing too is there's areas where I was talking to a student just 2 days ago that she's in our Fort Myers, when we had our store there, and she can't even physically get out of the house to go anywhere to do anything. So it's been a heaven sent for her. So we're going to make this grow, and then over time you might see some other staff members teaching, which is going to be great because we've got some of the best talent in the nation here. So anyone else? Okay. Well, I'm gonna officially unmute you all, and I'm just gonna get you all on. And then, anything you'd like to say before we go? I'm going to say goodbye, and then as you guys are leaving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sayonara.
Oh,
Hi, am I unmuted?
Bye,
you are.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Shirley. Bye, Art. Bye, Joanne.
Bye, Carol.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye.
Hey, if you have
Bye.
any
Thank
questions,
you.
don't hesitate. Send me an email. I do get a
Okay,
lot of-
thank
I do
you.
get a lot of emails, so be patient, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can if you do have a question, okay?
Bye.
Okay.
Carol.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Everybody's
Carol.
dog.
This is the part where it gets.
I think I'm on there under Phil.
You're under Phil,
Uh-oh.
and that right now looks like Rich. You're muted, Rich. Let me unmute you here. There, now I can hear you. I think I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Oh, good. Hey, before you leave, a quick question. When you did Gentle on My Mind, you cranked up the tempo to 200. And I'm used to playing something. If you want to play something faster, you can go with cut time. So that's virtually the opposite of cut time.
Yeah, what organ do you have?
Put that chair outside the door. I don't know.
Oh, wait. Rich, what organ do you have?
The Inspire.
The Inspire. Okay, so on the Inspire, you might have the style Gentle Mind.
Okay.
If you do, don't mess with the tempo because it's already fast.
Okay, thank you.
All right? If you use one of the slow guitar styles that I put up on the screen, which you'll get, like what it was like a guitar standard, and it's like at 140. Then you speed it up. But what happens is you don't play it 1, 2, 3, 4. You end up playing it 1, 2, 3, 4. So then it'll work in that case. But if you use the Gentle Mind style and it's already fast and you speed it up, you're going to have a problem with it. So play it at its natural speed.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your help.
All right.
Hang on a second here now.
I don't see anything on there that shows me. My name is Teddy, and it should say it's Phil. Do you see something that says Phil?
I see something that says Phil.
Well, I'm one of TJ's students, and Phil set up the Zoom thing for something else, and so it just says Phil instead of Teddy, but
Yeah,
I don't
just
see
depends
anything
on
that
the-
said mute or unmute. I'm
Yeah.
sorry?
Yeah, just he set up probably an account under his name, or sometimes it pulls it from the phone or
Yeah.
iPad or whatever, and it just pulls that name into it.
And I also have a Yamaha, so I don't have most of what you're saying on mine,
Well,
easily, but
the trick is to like for the You Don't Know Me, that 6/8 ballad.
right?
Virtually every organ keyboard in the world has some type of ballad triplet style on it.
Oh, yeah, I have ballad for sure.
Well, it's 6/8, so it sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You count 2, 3, 4. So it's kind of like a dun 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 2, 3, 4. So it's like that's the old classic 50s ballad feel. For Gentle on My Mind, you'd probably use just something that has a guitar, because Yamahas have all these styles on it. Sometimes just about hunting and pecking for the style that has that guitar sound. And
Yeah, I have a lot of guitar.
Cabaret, just find a big band style and speed it up to about 180.
Can you tell me if Fletcher has any lessons on how to use like my instrument? Because everybody in my class has, Lowry stuff.
Unfortunately, we do not, only because we've commonly carried the Lowry models for the longest time, and now the new
Right.
LPs. So if I have a picture of the diagram, sometimes I can point out. If you send me an email, since you got the email notice from me, send me an email of what instrument model you have, and I can take a look into some of that and be prepared in advance.
The biggest problem I have is not knowing how to add. I can add one instrument, but I think it has the capability of adding several. I just don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it. It'd be a little tricky.
Reading the directions helps.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to prepare for our next class in 4 minutes. So,
All right. Thank you.
Bye to everybody, and I'll talk to you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.